Hello and welcome back to the Sunday special episode of the U Up Podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. So good to be back here with you, Jordana. We love a Sunday special.
Love it. So excited. So shareable. You know, it's the end of the year. I feel like a lot of people are starting to reflect on some dating. Great time to send a friend who is feeling a little weird about dating right now. Send them this episode.
Couldn't agree more. We're on the same page. I kind of, every time we tape a Sunday special, we do it right after doing the original.
Yes.
I don't know if you feel this way. I'm like, what a cool thing. You wake up on a Sunday, like if you're a fan of this show, I'm not, but if you are.
Yes, if you listen to the show, which I don't.
Right, which I don't. No,
Yes.
not for me. The guy on it's a little loud. So you wake up on a Sunday, because I listen to podcasts. I'm saying this as a podcast user. I go.
As do I.
Right. Don't you have Sundays where you go, ugh, I wish I just had something.
Yeah, I
It's
don't really
nice.
have any shows that I listen to that come out on Sundays.
I don't really myself.
Yeah.
And so I don't, when I wake up on a Sunday, I'm like, ugh, I want to walk with something so I can drink my coffee or whatever. I think let's pat ourselves on the back. We never do this.
And if you're on a walk listening to this right now, you're welcome for just wasting 2 minutes of your time.
Wave to me on the West Side Highway. I'll
Yes.
be walking by you.
Do people say hi to you a lot on the West Side?
Oh,
Highway?
all the time. It's
Wow.
really nice. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's really nice. Sometimes better than others. Some people are good about it and some people.
What's the best way to do it? Your
To
opinion?
say hi?
Yeah.
No stopping.
Okay.
Just keep on
Big
walking.
fan of the show.
Love the pod.
Okay.
One time I had a guy run by and he goes, "Board Lord!" And then everyone at the field turned and I was like, I just acted like I didn't know what he was talking about.
I don't know who that is.
Board Lord.
Board Lord. No, I'm saying. No,
yeah.
you were probably thinking that.
I'm
Lord.
the Board Lord.
That's my father. I'm Jared.
I'm Board Prince. No, that was good because then it reminded me of me yelling at Al Roker all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And I was
I
like,
wonder
oh,
if
maybe.
do you think he felt that way about you?
Probably.
Like, this whole time you thought you had a thing going.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, there's this crazy man who just like makes me feel uncomfortable every day. I've tried to switch the route that I've walked
Right.
and it just keeps happening. And,
Right. I guess now I feel better
and he's
about
got a podcast. Now he keeps talking about it. Now he's let everyone know where I am. It's
told everyone where I live. And now I feel better about the Board Lord guy. Yeah, if he runs by again, do it again. No, I think it's always nice. It's anytime someone, you have that too.
Yeah.
People come up to you and they go, "I'm sorry, I don't want to be whatever," and you're like, "No, this is the greatest
Oh my God.
compliment in the
Yes.
world."
It's literally there's absolutely nothing more flattering, especially if I'm in front of like a big group of people.
Right.
That's the best.
Yeah, that is the move.
Yes.
You wanna pay us back for this show? You see us standing with anyone, you
Yes.
come over and you say, "Hey, I don't want to interrupt, but I just want to say love your stuff," and then walk away.
Amazing.
That's the perfect interaction.
Yes.
Me hanging with
Looking
an
cool.
old friend from college. Hey, what have you been up to? I do this comedy thing. Hey, I don't want to interrupt. Oof. I'll be fully erect in public.
That's the best. Have you used your Dante gift card yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm waiting.
I'm ready for the story.
It's coming. I've been off of the booze. I've been off the.
Oh right. Yes.
the
Only a few more days.
Few more days. I didn't take long off. Believe me. It was my thoughts. When you're at the buffet and you take too much food, your eyes are bigger than your stomach. My sober was bigger than my not sober, I guess. I don't know what's the way to. But I took off since
You're manifesting it.
Yeah, I stopped an hour ago.
Okay. But now the show's over, so you're back on.
Show's over. I'm back on.
I
I'm
feel
at the
like-
beach. I'm in Boca.
I feel like you do a dry January a lot. You try
I've done it before. I'm just trying to like moderate everything. I just need less of everything.
Everything in moderation.
Right.
It's a
I'd
great-
be okay. Like if I could, I don't need more than 3 drinks.
Right.
I say that, and then I'm like, 4 martinis, sure. Like a fucking idiot.
4 martinis, and I'm like literally out of the game. Like
There's
I'm
on
the floor.
There's an old saying. It's martinis are like boobs.
Breasts, yes.
Yeah. 2 is enough, and 3 is too many. One's
not enough. 3 is too many.
Right.
Yes.
And there's never been a more horrific
for a glass
line.
of vodka.
Yeah.
Well, my issue now with drinking is that I wake up, I fall asleep immediately, and then I wake up at like 2 a.m. and then I'm just up for the rest of the night.
Wow. Yeah.
It's really annoying.
And do you just like start the day? What do you do?
No, I just lay there, hoping, just praying that I fall asleep, and I don't. And then it's like 5 a.m.
Do you wake Mike up?
Oh my God, he would kill me.
Really?
He's very, very. We've gotten into like, it's funny. It's actually a pretty funny dating story. So when we first were dating, I remember being like super anxious, or as I was, and there was one time where I was talking to him, and I was like, I said something, and I was like, I don't remember what the topic was, but I was like, yeah, I felt really like bad, or I felt like whatever, and it was like in the middle of the night. It was like, and it was kind of in the middle of the night. He's like, oh, you could like, you could always wake me up, like, any time of night, like you can wake me up, like if you need me.
How sweet.
It's so sweet, right? So I did that like 2 years into dating. He's like, what the hell are you doing? And I was like, remember you told me like I can always wake you up. Like right. if I'm feeling, if I need you, or if I don't feel good, or if I don't, I'm mentally like spinning, like I can. He's like, I don't remember saying that.
That was a year one.
And now
thing.
I constantly mention that. I'm like, you said anytime that I'm feeling. He's like, I rescind that. He's like, I rescinded that years ago. You have to let that one go. That was like a beginning of dating, like thing.
I was trying to get blown.
That was the beginning of dating lie that I said.
What was your reasoning to wake him up?
I don't know. I was like anxious about something, and I like, it was probably, again, it was because it was early with us dating. It was probably something about our relationship that was making me anxious, and I was up tossing and turning about it.
Wow.
And he said I could call him.
This was it.
Or wake him up at any time. And then he admits that he said it, but he now has withdrawn it as a statement. But I don't think you should be able to have takebacks. I
think you got to have takebacks. Things change.
Anytime.
If you're up, scary dream, anything.
Now, if I make too many movements in bed, he's like, you don't respect sleep. Or when you're like in that period where you're falling asleep, where it's like we both decided to go to bed, and then it's like 10 minutes later, and I'll be like, oh, by the way, don't forget to do this, and he's like, are you joking?
Now?
Because I was just about there. It's like so funny how things just completely turn a 180.
So sleep is very important to him.
Yes, he's adamant that I don't respect sleep.
You don't.
He thinks I don't respect it. Yeah.
Sleep is very important, they say, but are you just not like? Is he an 8 hours guy? Is that what it is?
He thinks I'm like too loud. If he's still sleeping and I get up earlier than him, he thinks I'm like too loud, just like slamming drawers and doing all this stuff. He's also very good at sleeping, which I think should make him less annoyed about it. He can sleep anywhere, in a cab, on a train, on the plane.
That is not me.
Constantly falling asleep.
I'm jealous of that person.
So am I.
Sleep on a plane?
Trying to bring him with me.
Right. Bring you down. Problem. Yeah. I can't be unhappy unless everyone out around me is unhappy as well.
When we went to Hawaii, the woman next to us on the plane, when we're getting off the plane, she goes to him. She goes, I've never seen anyone sleep like that. On a flight, she goes, good for you. That's very impressive. And
he's got fans. Yes. Hey, I don't mean to interrupt, but I loved watching your sleep.
So impressive. Your form.
Right. Do you have an Instagram I can follow? Is there any content you put out there about you sleeping on planes?
Yeah. Anyway, for me, it's very boring to watch him sleep. So I try to bring him to my level.
If I were him, I'd give you like board games, solitaire. Here's some sleeping games you can play.
All right.
What are we talking about today?
Let's get into it. We're talking about playing games.
Speaking of games, do you want me to read it?
Yeah, go for it.
Jared and Jordana. Your podcast is part of my weekly routine, makes me feel less alone in my dating nightmares. I have a question for y'all after another guy from Hinge ended things. Man, what an opening. No wonder they've leaned on this podcast. Their friends are tired of talking to them.
My dating nightmares.
Right. Another guy from Hinge ended things. Time to write in.
Person's got the attitude that everyone wants to date.
Right. This has happened to me a few times now. I'm curious what the problem is and why it's me. Well, we're not going to blame you. Or maybe we will. I met this guy on Hinge and we chatted for about a week before making plans. He planned the date and chose a spot in my neighborhood. We had a great time, went on another date about a week later, which he also planned. I planned the third date and we went to an NBA game, which he had never been to. He was so into it. He even bought a shirt earlier in the day for it.
Wow. He wore a special shirt to a sports event.
Right. It is funny to like put that in here.
It's just funny to me as a statement that two people could interpret the same action so differently.
Right. She's like, he's excited for our date. And
Right.
he's like, I'm excited to go to the fucking game.
Never been to a game before.
Yeah. I'll take a ticket. He slept over that night and we hooked up. It was a fun hookup. We both seemed into it. He left early the next morning, but texted me soon after inviting me to meet up with his friends that night as they were going out to celebrate his birthday. All right. I couldn't go, but he did come over after.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Well, he invited her.
Yeah. Again, we had a great time. He's very funny. I felt like I could immediately be myself. We had great banter, which can be rare. The timing was weird after that because his parents were in town. Then I left for Thanksgiving. He texted me about our next date and suggested going to dinner when we were off for Thanksgiving, but I was out of town for the whole week, so the timing did not work. I suggested trying to find a time before I left, but he said he couldn't. Over the holiday week, we chatted a little bit, but he was never a huge texter, so I chalked it up to that. Eventually, I decided to text him and try to plan our next date. He was pretty indecisive about it and then eventually stopped texting me. I went out with a few girlfriends over the weekend, so naturally texted him after a few drinks. He replied early the next morning saying sorry, he was already asleep. I replied back, and then a few hours later, he sent a text and the screenshot attached. You want to read it?
Okay. So you could start because I don't think the first one makes any sense.
Hey, I know I haven't...
Anytime you get a text that starts with hey, it's never, hey, I think I'm in love with you.
Right. Hey, I've been thinking of buying a house with you.
Never.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, I know I haven't been chatty this week. Didn't mean to ignore you, but I've been thinking I'm not sure I want to go on the next date and wasn't sure what to say. I'm sorry.
Gotcha. Curious why?
Yeah, I guess I'm just not as into it as I was. Which is the world's dumbest explanation. I know, just not sure it gets more specific.
Okay.
I've been off and on the apps for years now. This is the second or third time something like this has happened. I finally meet someone I'm excited about. We go on a few dates, usually initiated and planned by them. Then they end it before I can even decide how I feel about them. They have never asked what I am looking for before they end it. Casual hookup versus relationship. I decided a while ago that I'm not going to play the dating games of waiting to text, play hard to get, etc. Because when it's right person, it won't matter, or maybe not. So my question is, my decision to not play the dating games, ruining my chance of finding someone I might actually be a match with? Or is it working and filtering out guys who aren't ready to date me? Also, another question, why are guys on the apps if they don't want to date or even pursue a casual hookup? I suppose it's just because I wasn't right for them, but would love any other thoughts. For context, I am 27-year-old female living in Denver, Colorado. I'm from the South and I'm one of the only remaining single friends from high school and college. I won't settle for anyone and I have become accustomed to my independence, but I am also ready for a significant other. What the fuck am I doing wrong? Please roast me, but also roast this screenshot. I replied and said something along the lines of thanks for letting me know, and then he replied, I'm sorry again, to which I did not reply. I would include those, but I have a habit of immediately purging things like this from my phone. Thank you for letting me ramble. What do you think?
She said, please roast me, but also roast the screenshot. To me, this screenshot is not particularly roastable.
No, I thought the same.
Besides the hay.
The hay is roastable.
Yeah, no.
I thought the same thing. I thought when he wrote, yeah, I guess I'm just not as into it as I was, which is the world's dumbest explanation, I was like, this is the most honest explanation I've ever seen.
Right.
Like, I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there and not sent this text.
This is more honest than I think you'll get from most people.
Anywhere.
Yeah. He didn't make it like an excuse of anything.
Just not as into it as I was.
Yeah. To me, this is like the most classic possible thing. Like, this is not weird at all.
Right. And from the kind of guy side of things, I was thinking about this when she's, we have people that write in a lot about like, it's the holidays, how do I keep momentum? And it's interesting, like no guys aren't like in the let's work on this mode this early on. I found a suitoress and it's got all like the way she wrote about this. I don't really do, I do think people in general, they go, I don't usually connect with someone, but if they're not like, and as most guys at this age, I don't know what the ages were. She
is 27, so you assume
so it's
27 plus.
Right. Guys around that age aren't like generally, and it seems like this guy is one of those guys that They're not like, oh my God, this could be the one. It's just, oh, this was fun. And then you kind of lose track of them and you're still on the day and you go, do I want to, and it's not like they're not thinking in terms of candidates as much. And I know that's hard to hear maybe because when she's writing all these things, she's like, and he's this and he's that. And finally someone funny. And he's going,
Well, here's my question. Let's say there wasn't this Thanksgiving break.
Right.
Do you think it's possible this could have gone a different way? Like they wound up just going out that week and then he became more into it?
I think it's possible, but I also think he put a lot of things in the way that I think when you go, oh, let's do this week, let's do that week, I think you can find a way.
Yeah. I also think if he was into it, none of that stuff really matters or doesn't matter.
Well, I think he's into it.
Well, he said I'm not as into it as I thought I was.
I know. I don't know. I guess, there's an element here where you go, I guess it would have happened at some point. He's making plans.
Or, well, I guess her question, you're saying it would have happened at some point. My question is it possible in a world, in an alternate universe where they went out, he kind of is on the fence about it, becomes more into it, and then they're together?
Right. I don't know. It's hard to tell this person. Like, I don't think this guy, I think there's a thing with a lot of guys that we believe, but it's not really true. I think we believe like, oh, and then this magical person will come along and all of a sudden the switch will turn off and I'm excited. And I don't think that's the truth. I think we think that. Mm-hmm. I thought that.
Right.
Oh my God, this magical person will come into my life and I'll go, what?
For some people, though, you do hear stories about that.
That's how the story's told. I think that's a story that sounds romantic. I think that's a story that sounds...
Some guys will tell that story.
That's the story I'm going to tell.
No matter
what. Listen now. You'll hear me.
Yeah.
You guys, if you're listening now, you'll hear me with my talking about my future wife. Just something turned on. I don't know. It's her magic. Isn't she lovely? Is it? That song will start playing.
So what will be the truth?
I think what happens for most men is this idea of like, I am ready. I am going to start searching for candidates. Because the way she talks, it seems like...
It's like the Sex and the City episode with the cab light turning on.
I don't know the episode.
So in the episode... They're talking about this very thing where it's like some guy, like, why do some guys, you have to catch, I think Miranda was basically saying, like, you have to catch guys. The guys are like taxis, and you have to catch them when their light is on, when they're, like, ready to settle down.
Yeah. I think.
And it's not about who you are, and it's not about, like, how incredible you are, how amazing of a match you are. Their light happened to be on and settled down right, and you caught them during this period of time.
Right. And that doesn't mean I won't kick you out of my cab. If you start puking in the backseat of my cab, get the fuck out.
You're not taking anyone.
I'm not going to take anyone.
Right.
But I do think there's this like click into like, I understand the mathematical, and it's not very sexy, but like I have come to terms with, I'm ready for the next step. And this guy, she's like, why are guys on the dating app if they don't want, and this relates to what she's saying. Why are guys on dating apps if they don't want casual or a relationship? And it's like, no. Those guys are not letting. He knows you want relationship, and he's getting ahead of that because he knows he is not going to just get into this relationship right now. So he's not even presenting casual because that makes him a dickhead.
Right.
She's like, he didn't even ask what I was looking for. He doesn't give a fuck.
He also like knows you're not looking to just have sex with him until he feels like he no longer wants to have sex with you.
Right. You're not buying Nuggets tickets for your mister.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Well, it's like that's what she says. Like, I can't believe he was like, why was he even on the app if he wasn't even open to dating or pursuing a casual hookup? He is open to those things. Right. You're not. You're not open to a casual hookup. He is open to dating. He doesn't want to date you.
Right. This goes back to like this idea of the cab light on, cab light off. The cab light, while it's off, you do rationalize, because I do believe I don't believe there's all these assholes, maniacal pieces of shit out there. Everyone rationalizes themselves into a good person. And everyone believes they're trying their best. Whether that does well to you or not, they're trying their best. They've rationalized. You wouldn't be able to wake up in the morning if you didn't rationalize a way that you're an okay person who's just doing their best. So what these guys are doing when the light's off, they go, I'm open. Maybe someone will change my mind. Maybe someone will make me turn that light on. And I think in most cases that doesn't happen. I think in most cases you go out, you have a fine time. You're attracted to this person. You have fun with this person. Time gets away. Thanksgiving, holidays, you're still on the app. You're still at the grocery store shopping. You go, maybe someone else will make the light turn on more than that person
Not
did.
ready to fold.
Right. And I think, because I'm seeing this now looking back. Because I'm in that mode where I go, I do think my light is on.
Okay.
And I hope it is. I hope I'm not delusional. I hope I'm not like going on dates with people. Like, I don't think it was on before, but I do think I was telling myself, oh, if someone.
Okay. So looking back,
right?
Do you feel like if you met one of those people where your light was off before, you met them now, would you just marry them?
There's a couple.
Okay.
I think there's a few people that come to mind where I go. And you know who it's more, it's less, it's not people that like I got serious with.
Right. Well,
You
you
know what I
weren't
mean?
looking for that, it sounds like, right? Or why didn't you get serious with them back then?
It just was like casual by nature,
Right.
and they didn't put up with my shit, and that's why I kind of agree with like most men have the one that most guys have like the one that got away.
Right.
I do think that like exists for men more than it does for women.
Okay.
And I read that somewhere else. That's not from me, but
I believe that. Yeah.
But that's why I believe it, because I'm like, yeah, I can understand the thought of like, oh, we were just like kind of hanging and it just didn't go, and
Well, it's like at the time you weren't willing to put in the work.
right.
Right.
And then
or the compromise.
and you did put in the work with someone, some other things, and you go, oh, because I put the work in, I go, yeah, I know that wasn't the right match.
Right.
And it's the ones that you didn't put the work in that you go, I guess I'll never know.
Yeah.
And I guess like, it is funny that like
Are
even
those
at
people
that.
still single? Can we
No,
reach out?
no, that's not good. It is. It's interesting to me. Like and I'm not sitting there crying at night looking at their Instagram. I'm not.
Not even a little bit?
No.
Every now and then?
Never. Like I'm just like, oh yeah, that could have been. It's more like,
Right.
oh, that could have gone
Yeah.
if I had been. But also, I don't think I would have been.
Well, it wasn't the right time.
I just can't see myself going to open mics and seriously dating someone.
Now.
Looking back.
Oh, you're saying now then because you were an open mic.
Or
You're
doing the things that, and again, that's where the unromantic comes in,
Right.
the practicality.
But you're still performing every night.
Right. But I like I'm going to take a week off next week.
Right. You're more
I never
willing to
would have done that.
compromise.
More willing.
Right.
Like next week, I'm going to I didn't even put in for spots anywhere.
Okay.
I'm like gone.
Good.
I'll come back over Christmas. I'll do spots here. I like Christmas week in New York.
It's lovely.
The time between Christmas and New Year's,
Best week.
the best week in New York City. I
No
think
better place to
everyone
be.
should visit that week. That is also hookup week. All of a sudden, it's summer again.
What do they call it?
I just said I was
Yeah.
ready, and I'm like, yeah, fuck week is coming
Right.
up.
I'm so excited. Why is it hookup week? Because everyone just doesn't have much to do.
Out drinking.
Right.
We'll see what happens after New Year's. There's there's friskiness in the skies.
There's a hope. There's an excitement in the air.
Right.
I'll give you that.
And it's like all the people that didn't cuff up are like, okay, long winter's coming. Last shot at the bar.
Last licks.
It's a little it's a little bit that.
Okay.
Yeah, that week is it's holiday fuckfest.
Wow.
Here
That's
at
exactly.
Toyota.
Is that going to make the Our Wedding page?
We met during Holiday Fuckfest 2022.
End of season sales.
That's what it is. Yeah, everyone's like, ugh, I'm a little bit, a little bit flabbier than I was in the summer. I'll take what I can
I'll
get.
take the discount.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for us for today.
Jordan's like, I've had enough of this conversation. But what do we think for this person? What should they do?
What should they do? I mean, there's nothing to be done. They've been dumped.
You're gonna be alone forever, miss.
I would say I would switch up this attitude. I don't think she should play more games. I don't think games. Here's what games will do. Games will keep you in a situation that won't wind up being good for longer.
Right. I think also admit to yourself what you're doing. You do want a relationship.
Yeah.
Stop doing this. Well, he didn't ask me what I wanted to do. That's a game in itself.
Yeah, and this is like a great dating experience. This isn't a bad dating experience. Stop with the storyline of I'm 27 and I'm from the South and I'm the last single friend of my high school and college friends. You don't live in the South. So like get rid of that storyline.
You live in Denver, one of the greatest transplant cities in the country. Everyone's moving there. Everyone's new to town. Everyone's looking to meet. I've never been to a place like Denver. Everyone is looking to meet people there.
Yeah.
And if your opening line is hi,
I'm the oldest, the only single friend left of my high school group.
Little bit about me. I'm the loneliest.
A little bit about me is that I'm all alone.
Right. Save it for your TikToks.
Yeah, no, I think the attitude is like half of it. And I would think of this, I know this seems like a really negative, she's thinking of this negatively.
Oh, it was a good dating experience.
But I think this is a great dating experience. She had fun. She went to the game.
Right.
She had some good sex. He wasn't interested. He felt it wasn't a match. He figured that out sooner than she did. Whatever. Save some time of hers.
Saw a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go have some fun.
And don't play games. Just don't.
Don't.
Just stop it. Text right away. Text when you have something to say. Use the tickets. There was a guy I did this the dating makeover, the call-in show. This guy was like, this guy called in. He goes, I was out last night, met this girl at the bar. We started talking, great conversation. Then he goes, and then she left. I never got her number. And then we're walking by the pizza place. She's in the pizza place. I go in the pizza place. I go up to her. I go, hey, I didn't get your number before. Would love to go out sometime. She's like, here's my number, whatever.
Cool.
And then it was the next day, and he goes, I got these Knicks tickets. I'm wondering if I should like invite her. And I go, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like awesome. Like that's kind of the way people want to meet in person. And I'm like, listen, ticketed first date, but at a game, go for a quarter. Like go have some drinks and then go, hey, there's another bar near here. And it was funny to hear him be like, should I, do I look like a wuss? Do I look like too much? And it's like, yeah, you're too much to someone who's not attracted to you and not into you.
Yeah.
But if they're into you, they're like, oh my God, I've never been wetter by a plan in my entire life.
Yeah, and you met in person already. It's not like you're going on a first app date.
Right.
Thing.
No, this is, it is funny the way I don't know if people would have thought this way 20 years ago.
Right.
Like we are almost so safe. And it's like to me, the game he would be playing is, I don't want to look too much or too soon. It's like, be too soon. Be too much.
And here's the thing about all this stuff. It's like the worst thing that could happen is the person's not interested in you and it ends.
Right.
And then you will go out and meet someone else.
Right.
Who is.
And you go to the game alone because all of your friends are married and engaged. Exactly. And you have nobody.
It's a half attitude. I really do, think that. Have some fun.
Listen, me too, sister. I don't got a friend in the world. Everyone's married. Everyone's engaged. I go out alone with my phone. You trying to be like me?
This is now we get to, what's the show? What's the movie with the ghost of Christmas Past?
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Is that, what's the show?
Christmas Carol.
A Christmas Carol. Getting up on Christmas Carol times.
I'm the ghost of single past.
Yes. And the ghost of
single future.
Single future. Or
you're going to be eating from one plastic bowl for the rest of your life. All right, I will shut up. I'll shut the fuck up. I'll stop.
Love it.
I'm out of my mind.
No, I think it's great.
Jordana's tried to end this episode 7 times.
No, it's perfect.
I'm using the Dante gift card, I promise you.
I can't wait to just hear about you paying with a gift card.
I have a gift card.
You have to uncrumple it. It has to be like, it can't be neatly folded.
This is what, if you're on YouTube, this is the treat you're going to get. This is, okay.
You still have it.
We're on the date. No, I got this.
Okay.
Actually, for my anniversary of the podcast.
My anniversary. This woman got me.
This woman Yeah, I have a gift card. Do you take these?
And you could say, my grandma told me I need to date more. So she got me.
I'll see you soon, Dante.
Is there anything less hot than, I mean, tell me if you hear this from any women who are like, yeah, my grandma paid for the Hinge Plus because she just so desperately wants me to be
right
in a relationship.
That's not a turn off as much as I've never been turned off by that, but it's also like
that a lot?
I've heard it before, and you go, how hard is this grandma being on you? You know,
Right.
like why does this? How like to me when I hear that, I'm like, that grandma must be so fucking depressing to be around.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I just need someone new here before I die.
You're annoying me.
Yeah.
Get someone else in here. Yeah.
Shut up, wrinkles. I'm trying. All right, let's end this. I'm sorry.
Never ends. Never change.
Never. Okay. Listen,
Anyway.
Thank you guys for listening. If you're in San Diego, I'm there for New Year's. Houston, Dallas, Toronto. I'll have a whole new act. I got to put together a whole new material. I got nothing.
You're going to need something new now. Well,
Maybe that grandma joke will work.
wrinkles.
Wrinkles.
Hinge Plus. Is that what it's called?
Is it Hinge Plus?
I don't know. There's got to be some sort of
Hinge with
version.
benefits?
Roses? Who knows?
You up with benefits.
You up with benefits?
$3.
Subscribe. Also, rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. Love reading your reviews. Give me some Christmas cheer.
Are people nice to me there?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't look.
I mean, not everyone.
Here's
but
Here's the thing. If you read a review that you don't like, that someone doesn't like me,
okay.
you don't have to tell me. I don't need to know.
I don't.
No, you don't. I don't. I'm speaking to the audience.
Okay.
Someone DM'd me the other day. They're like, "You're getting crushed.
Oh
You're
my
getting
God.
crushed out there." And I was like, "Really?
No,
I'm not even giving out.
You're not getting crushed.
No?
Yeah.
Okay." They're like, "You're getting crushed," and then they copy and pasted
Oh my God.
their thing that they wrote to defend me, and I was like, "Don't
No,
send.
I
let
don't want to
me
be
leave
involved.
me out.
Ignorant bliss. Yeah.
I don't
not
want
ever
in.
send me what anyone else thinks. That's none of your. As we like to say, what you say about me is none of my business.
Right.
Right.
I love that.
Unless I clearly follow it very accurately as I read every single fucking review. Anyway, 'tis the season.
I don't even like comments that aren't compliments or negative. Like if it's like if I post a stand-up video and someone writes, "I like your shirt," I want to take the person and throw them off a cliff. I am so angered by that.
But please leave a 5-star review.
Please.
Anyway, I've been trying to end this for a long time.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We'll see you guys
Hold
next
on.
week.
No. All right, goodbye.
You're like my mom on the phone. I'll see you guys next week. Bye. The U Up podcast is produced by Sean Kilby, Maddie Paul, and Jorge Morales Pico. Editing by Jorge Morales Pico. Social media by Maddie Paul. Be sure to follow at u.up.podcast on Instagram and send us your emails to uup@betches.com.